All right, guys, San Diego Comic-Con is happening right now, and yesterday we got our first trailer of Green Lanterns. Well, not first trailer, teaser, trailer, whatever. Anyways, we got a trailer for Green Lanterns, and yeah, look, I'm a huge Green Lantern fan. I've read hundreds and hundreds of issues of Green Lantern runs, and you know, I want this to be good. Just like DC overall, I want this new continuity to do well, and that's maybe why I see more critical of it than I do of anything else, is because I care more. I do, right? And man, you know, like, look, I didn't hate the Supergirl movie, but I think we all have to acknowledge what it was. And then we have the Clayface movie coming out, and that one seems a little misplaced to be happening right now. That's why I'm questioning that one so much. And now we have this Lantern show, which, you know, is the first entry where I'm like, okay, that makes sense to do. You know, the Green Lanterns is a huge section of the DC universe. It makes sense to set all of this up really, really early right now, because there's so much storyline that can come out of the Green Lantern side of the DC universe. So I'm hoping it's good. I want it to do well. I am already questioning things about this show. The fact that it's so, you know, kind of not low budget, but it is small. You know, it does feel, it seems to be mostly focused on Earth in this small little town where they're trying to solve a mystery, instead of being this big galactic spanning thing. You know, so I'm questioning that a little bit, but I'm gonna give it a shot. Let's go ahead and watch this trailer. Here we go.
It's time to get up, Junior.
Okay, still got that mentor mentee training thing.
Cop.
No, I'm just being trained.
All right, new lesson. Take the ring. You fly.
Just fly.
I'm sorry. Fly, please. What's that?
You're the backup quarterback.
For now.
Okay, so that's fun. That makes sense that would happen. You accidentally make something, yeah.
What do you think is going on?
It's no accident we're here. These victims are gonna end up being alien.
Based on what?
I have a feeling.
He has a feeling.
I mean,
I
if the
think
Green
this is
Lantern's
more than just a
involved,
feeling.
they're probably aliens, yeah.
This is a threat no one's ever seen before.
What do you know about manhunters?
Where'd you hear that word?
We're gonna get manhunters,
Manhunters are the most dangerous beings to ever exist in the galaxy.
some robots.
They could take the form of any species.
So it could be anyone.
He's gonna send an army to put you down.
Interesting.
Do you resent Hal Jordan?
The ring's always been mine.
What is that?
Jordan's just keeping it warm.
I wonder what that square was. Here we go.
Sinestro.
You don't really believe he's your backup, do you, Hal?
No.
Let's say what he actually is.
My replacement.
Yeah, what's with this animosity between the two of them? Something's happening here.
In brightest day. In blackest night. No evil shall escape my sight. Let those who worship evil's might
What is that thing?
beware my power. Green Lantern's light.
Okay.
How about a beer?
Okay. Yeah, so they're definitely continuing on with this whole weird, like, there's just some animosity between the two of them. So beyond even just like, oh, he's training him how to do this, Hal Jordan seems to have like this like almost paranoia of like, oh, he's here to replace me. And Jon Stewart's kind of leaning into that. He's like, oh, he's just keeping the ring warm for me. But like the confusing part for me personally is that, like, I mean, maybe originally they did share one ring, but like Jon Stewart usually gets his own ring. Like they're not like, you know, they're not like trading the ring back and forth kind of thing. But I guess they're kind of, you know, maybe this is just early days, and okay, fine, they're sharing one ring for some reason. Now, the only thing that I can think of that might be happening here that would kind of explain like why maybe the Guardians are like, hey, we need to replace Hal Jordan. We're gonna get rid of him, or we're gonna fire him, or something. The only thing I can think is that maybe they already sense that Hal is, you know, maybe infected with the parallax, you know, entity. And so they're like, oh, we got to replace him, like, because we can't trust him anymore. I don't know. That's the only thing I can really think of what's happening here, because his meeting with Sinestro is like, oh, Hal doesn't trust Jon Stewart and doesn't understand why they're trying to replace him. Because definitely in this continuity, it seems that Hal's been Green Lantern for like maybe over 20 years at this point, right? So if you don't know, in the comics back in the 90s, Hal Jordan was Green Lantern for a long time. And then at a certain point, he's overcome with grief because his city gets destroyed, and he ends up, well, originally it was just that he turned evil and he killed a whole bunch of Green Lanterns and he became the villain known as Parallax. They retconned it so that he was actually infected with this yellow entity called Parallax, and, you know, they basically just did a big retcon to explain that he was possessed in a way, not like, you know, originally he just became evil, but now they're like, oh no, he was possessed the whole time. So that's the only explanation I can come up with as to why there's this weird like paranoia happening here where they don't trust each other, and, you know, maybe Jon Stewart really was sent here to replace him because maybe the Guardians are like, oh, something's wrong with Hal Jordan, we don't trust him right now. That's the only thing I can think of. Yeah, I don't know. I still wish that they were in their suits more. I still wish they had the masks on. I wish the suits maybe looked a little bit better. They still don't look great to me. You know, and again, it's only because I'm such a fan of, you know, I think Sinestro looks good. The suit, I understand that, like, okay, maybe maybe Hal Jordan hasn't worn the suit in a long time, or it's been through like decades worth of battles, so that's why it looks so worn down and, you know, it's all dusty and stuff. But I'm like, you know, I kind of want to see a Green Lantern suit in its prime and like new, and, you know, like make it look cool, because this is like really worn down and kind of raggedy looking suit, you know, like it's all beat up, and he's not even wearing the mask. I don't know, I kind of want to see Green Lantern look more like Green Lantern. I think that's all I'm really trying to say here. So maybe when Jon Stewart finally suits up and flies around, it'll be like, okay, there you go. But, you know, what's the kind of the joke is that, like, oh, we won't see that until the last episode, you know. Something else, there have been rumors about this show, potential spoilers, which I will talk about in a moment, so just be aware of that. But yeah, overall, the show, I'm willing to withhold my judgment. I'm going to try not to be too critical. Again, it's only because I've read so much Green Lantern, and it's really important to me that they get this right, because this is going to affect a lot of things moving forward in this new universe, in this new continuity, because, like, there's a lot of material to be mined from this. You know, just dozens and dozens of really cool stories that you can get out of here if you do it right. So yeah, I'm gonna withhold my judgment. It has promise, you know, like it looks like it could be cool. There's just some things that are still concerning me. Okay, but also, hey, the Manhunters, that's cool. If you guys don't know, the Manhunters were basically the precursor to the Green Lantern Corps, the Guardians of the Galaxy, or Guardians of the Universe, sorry. Guardians of the Universe. They created the Manhunters, a series of androids that were meant to go police, basically do the Green Lantern's job. Just police the universe, keep peace, right? But of course they took, like robots always do, they took things too far, and so they had to create the Green Lanterns to stop the Manhunters. And every once in a while in the comics, the Manhunters just kind of pop up. Somehow they're still out there, and some other villain is using them. And that seems to be the case here. Is that like, oh yeah, we got more Manhunters here. Now, them being able to shapeshift, that's interesting. Because the only shape-shifting Manhunter I know is the Martian Manhunter, which is completely different. That's John Jones. That's the Martians from Mars. That's a different thing entirely. The Manhunters I'm thinking of are the robots that the Guardians made. So that's interesting, if they're giving them shape-shifting abilities. But again, I don't remember that being a thing, and it feels like maybe that was done for budgetary reasons. That way they could just say, oh, these human actors who we don't have to put any costuming or prosthetics on, they're robots, actually. They're shape-shifted robots. Man, that saved us a lot of money. I'm gonna go look that up. I don't remember the Manhunters being able to shapeshift, so this feels like a budget thing. I don't know. It's stuff like that kind of concerns me, where I'm like, maybe this should have just been a movie instead of being like a show where you had a limited budget, but I don't know. Anyways, it looks like it has potential. I'm willing to give it a shot. I just have some concerns. Now, I do want to talk about some spoilers, so this is your warning. Spoilers, potential spoilers. Here we go. There was a rumor that came out a few weeks back that what's going to happen in the first episode, and I can see this happening because other streaming TV shows have done this, is that the show's gonna start as if it's gonna be Hal Jordan and Jon Stewart, teacher and apprentice, like buddy cop thing happening throughout the whole show. Like, we're gonna introduce a mystery, and it's gonna be like this ongoing thing, and you think that's gonna be the setup. And then towards the end of the first episode, they're gonna kill off Hal Jordan, and that's gonna be like your big cliffhanger, like, oh man, the stakes of this show are very serious because they just killed off who you thought was going to be one of the main characters. That's the rumor. And so it's just going to be Jon Stewart and maybe the sheriff lady, like, trying to investigate what's happening. And now Jon Stewart feels even more like personally like, oh, I need to figure this out because they killed the guy who was supposed to be my teacher. And also this makes it so that Jon Stewart does not know how to use the ring fully, and he completely has to, like, figure it out as he goes because, he's now in the driver's seat. That's the rumor. And I gotta tell you right now, if they're just doing that for the shock value reasons, and also just to, like, again, hey, if Jon Stewart doesn't know fully how to use his ring, then that's gonna save us on some budget because he's only gonna be using the powers sometimes instead of all the time. I gotta tell you, I really would hate that. I would hate that so much. That's so annoying. Especially because you know what they're gonna do next. They're gonna, at the very end of the season, they're gonna reveal that Hal Jordan is back, but either he's evil or he's now, the cloaked, I forget what it's called. The cloaked ghost-like form that he takes after he died in the comics. I don't remember what that was called. Anyways, they're going to do something like that. And the whole time, after this first episode airs, the controversy online is going to become insufferable. Everyone's going to hate it. Everyone's going to complain about it. And so it's just going to be week after week of this show, every episode that comes out every week, of people hating on it. And it's going to become this huge thing where even if you're trying to enjoy the show, you can't look it up online. You can't look at anything online about Green Lanterns because it's going to be nothing but people complaining about it. And that's also just going to add to the frustration of watching it. And I feel like I'm saying all this because we've been through this so many times. So many different shows have done this. Please don't do that. Please don't do this whole bait and switch thing where you killed off Hal Jordan and it's this big shock value moment, because it doesn't work. It never works. Everyone just hates it every single time a show does something like this. and we've seen several shows do this. Please don't do that, okay? But I feel like it's gonna happen. Based on the trailer, I feel like everything we're seeing with Hal Jordan, all this cool stuff where he visits Sinestro and he goes to the bar and he shields himself, I feel like all that's gonna happen, and then he's gonna get killed by some alien thing, and then we're gonna be like, oh my god, he died, and then we're gonna have to wait a whole week before we see Jon Stewart struggle and fail to use the ring until eventually throughout the season he gets better at it, and he suits up at like the episode 8, he suits up finally, and then after credits sequence, Hal Jordan's still alive. Like I feel like I know the whole show already, if that's the route they go. So please don't do that. That's all I'm asking. James Gunn, if that's what's happening right now, please just delay the show for another year and redo all of that, because that's bad. It's gonna it's gonna put the whole Green Lantern, like all these stories that we have moving forward, all of this potential, it's going to put it off on a really bad first step, and we're already struggling here. Okay, Supergirl just happened, Clayface is a big question mark, so please don't do this to the Green Lanterns. We don't need more internet controversy. We don't need more like subverting expectations. Please don't do it. That's all I'm asking you. Anyways, let me know what you guys think. Do you guys think that's going to happen? Or is that just a silly rumor that people are getting worked up about nothing and it's not going to happen and everything's fine? Let me know what you guys think, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.